Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Wednesday, June 8th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? First two cards in our five cards got here. All right, all right. Okay, okay, not bad. Okay, so this is an amplification. We've got here our Page of Cups in its upright in combination with our 10 of Pentacles. Things are starting to feel grounded. The thing is, you may be feeling like you're getting back, like we're moving out of the liminal space right now. We're starting to feel things getting a little bit more tangible again. But the one thing we got to be conscientious about right now. What's the one thing we have to be conscientious about right now? You may be feeling more emotional than usual. You may be feeling like you've got a lot of emotionality coming up right now. I just want you to get ready for it. Just get ready for it, okay? Because we've got in just a few days, next week, we've got that full moon in Cancer. So if you're in your feels right now, just bright side, things are getting more things are starting to feel like they're stabilizing, right? And even now, you may be feeling like a lot of that emotionality popping up, like feeling more in your own skin, if you will. Like I'm just seeing even now, like a lot of this is like moving back into some of that, like a lot of that, like getting back down to business. But we want to be conscientious of this Page of Cups card here, because I'm telling you right now, this is the Cancer full moon that's on the horizon. This is some of that emotionality, the outpouring, the cup. The cup is going to start to fill up. That emotional cup of feelings is going to start filling up right now. So just get a little bit ready for it, okay? Listen to me. I already want you to start figuring out like positive spaces to channel emotions right now. Because there's going to be a lot of big feelings coming up right now. The center card in our 5-card spread for today. What do we got coming out here? We've got here Fool energy. Okay. So, and this has a lot to do. This is us getting comfortable, right? This is us getting comfortable this is okay. All right. So if you missed yesterday's reading, I'm going to ask you to go refer back to it, because one of the things I talked about with some of this emotionality right now, a lot of this like up and down energy that we're experiencing as in relationality to the Mars retrograde, if you will, like firmly remembering that if you're feeling that, you are not the roller coaster. You are on the roller coaster. You are not the roller coaster. When you're on a roller coaster, you're not the roller coaster, right? And focusing on that horizon point. I keep seeing that what's happening right now is a lot of energy is getting their bearings in it. I told you, you're going to get used to it. It's going to feel like normal. And then late February, it's all going to change again, right? When Aries energy comes back. So a lot of this, right? Like this is, and I told you even yesterday, the way I was describing it is like, imagine that roller coaster. You're like, and then imagine the roller coaster that goes on for like a month. Like you're on a roller coaster for a month, and then you're like, like this is just the energy, like getting their bearings in a lot of that new energetic vibration. Now, it's also saying to me that there's a lot of this feeling of getting back into the space of things, like things starting to feel like I don't want to say returning back to normal. It's saying to me new and normal. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this has to do with energetic calibration. Now, for masculine and feminine energy right now in separation, like I got to tell you, this is saying to me, this is the energy just getting the courage. Like this is beautiful, because this is saying to me that there's a lot of energy right now in separation that's aligning the ego with the higher self. Remember what I was talking about? Remember how we were talking about those moments, masculine and feminine doing this work? When we build into the personal energetic maxim of the self, where we can recognize that both the higher self and the ego want to move in the same direction, I just see even now like a lot of that energy and separation going, I'm glad we're in alignment on this, right? Because what happens when we build with intentionality? We surrender We surrender the energetic circumstances, right? It's not about what we're moving toward, it's about how we're moving. Welcome to Pluto in Aquarius, right? So for a lot of this energy right now, I even see this is masculine and feminine. This is some of that Aries partnership energy that I'm talking about here. I just keep seeing that there's a lot of energy right now in separation that is finding the energetic courage to put themselves out there again. Why do we see that a lot of this energy is finding the courage to put themselves out there again? Because for feminine, this is the feminine energy that looks towards those wounds of trust in the past and says, I am not going to become like the energy that broke my trust. When we take the lesson that it is not right to trust, that trust is the failure point, we deny ourselves the ability to be in trusting experiences, right? So this is a lot of the feminine that says, heck no. Like this is the feminine that says, I refuse to take that energetic lesson from those experiences. Because this is a lot of the energy of the feminine that says, if I feel it, I know I am not the only one. That if I feel it, I know that someone out there also feels that as well. So a lot of that work right now, this is the blending. This is beautiful. This is the conjunction of compassion of the self with energetic courage that allows energy to move towards what they know is in alignment to them. Does that mean that the feminine energy feels energetically confident about what they will find as they move towards masculine in that way? No, but this is why we see that the energy of the feminine that's healing says that the wounds of trust that I experienced in the past will light the way. The wounds become maps. Being able to look towards those energetic lessons and learn them, building into that experience of the self. This is the feminine that is embracing those wounds and saying these wounds are not wounds. They are destination points. They help me recognize these are the lessons that I learned. This is the energy this is literally feminine being like, scars are cool. Like this is feminine being like, scars are cool because these are the scars of the self, right? These are those moments that the feminine says, these are the energies of the warrior that says, those are not wounds I'm carrying. Those are energetic scars. And those scars are building a map that's helping me find the masculine energy, right? And so this is a lot of the masculine energy and separation that builds into that context that says to themselves, when I move towards feminine and I don't put that false sense of self up, I create the space for feminine to love what they see. I create the feminine and the ability for the feminine that truly is seeking me to find me, right? Because that's, again, that energy of the ego, the overprotective bodyguard, the one who wants to get in front of you all the time and say, let me do the talking, right? Sometimes that energy, like this is why the egoic energy can feel kind of goony, right? Because it makes you kind of like, it comes in that space of being like, let me do it. But then what happens is the ego isn't the self. The ego tries to do the things that it wants to do, what others want to hear. So this is the energy of the masculine that's working on repairing the energetic ego and says, buddy, I love you. You protect me. You are not of me. When we are in accordance, my inner child is able to come through you. We are in alignment. So by being able to come into my authentic self, doing that work, right? This is a lot of the energy. This is why so much of this energy right now of masculine is, again, in that warrior vibration. Because I see a lot of the masculine energy in separation saying, never have I been so brave as I told my ego, hey, buddy, step back. We're going to let the inner child do the talking, right? And that's not letting the inner child, the unhealed inner child, run rampant, right? This is the energy that like works in conjunction with the self, like, right, like navigating the true lessons of Stoicism, which doesn't say, hey, just don't be who you are. It says, hey, be brave to be the person that you truly are. While for masculine and feminine energy right now that is coming into divine union, a lot of this energy that we see right now coming into divine union is doing that work, facilitating and building upon. I just see even now a lot of that energy starting to reach that point of energetic stabilization, working in that context, building into that pathwork of recognizing and identifying what feels energetically stabilizing. This is a lot of that energy that is processing and doing that healing work that often comes with deepening into an energetic connection, right? Moving deeper into partnership feels like an act of maturation. And this is why, because we see even now that for a lot of that energy coming into that space, doing that work, there's a lot of this energy that's making energetic peace with what they find there, and also building into that sense of excitement in relationality too, navigating in those spaces of places of feeling that vibration of excitement. And I just see a lot of productivity right now occurring for a lot of that energy moving deeper into divine union. Well, for a lot of this energy right now, deep within divine union, I just see a lot of application right now. I feel like a lot of this energy, like moving back into a space of productivity, right? Like a lot of this energy that we've been seeing, especially over like the last like week or so, has been very contemplative, right? And here we just see that there's a lot of that energy or a lot of that force in relationality to now taking a lot of those points of contemplation and bringing them forward. And I like this because, again, this is saying to me that a lot of that path work, for masculine and feminine, it's having a different impact, depending, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Now, for masculine, I would not be surprised if you're feeling a little bit more of that recognition point of moving towards, like I just see even now, the masculine energy right now that is deep within divine union, doing this work, is energetically following their bliss. Why do we see that a lot of that energy, and I need to stress this right now, when we see masculine energy that is following their bliss, does that mean that the masculine energy is being non-mindful of those around them? No. When the masculine energy is in a modality of the security of partnership, what does the energy create for the between the masculine and feminine? The ability of being your most authentic self is the ability to follow one's own bliss, right? And that's what we were talking about with a lot of this energy, being able to find those modalities of solitude that we were experiencing during that like recent liminal space that felt so much like that point of energetic expansion. Because there's a lot of this energy right now that is finding a lot of that sense of being able to navigate from a place of the inner child in the process. While for feminine energy right now, I would not be surprised if the feminine energy is feeling much more aggressive or much more assertive right now. Why are we seeing this to a certain degree? Because a lot of this feminine energy right now building into the context of energetic clarity. We saw yesterday that there was a lot of that space of the feminine working through sacred rage. Why did we see sacred rage coming up for the feminine? Because again, everything we're given is positive, so long as it comes from a positive space. So if there's a lot of this feminine energy that's working in that space, we saw especially with that Empress card that came up in its reversal, right? A lot of the feminine energy is building upon those experiences or those contexts as it relates to feminine, again, doing much the same healing that we saw that the masculine energy in separation is doing as it relates to rejection. There's a lot of the feminine energy right now that is reorienting themselves on the fact that rejection is an illusion. That when we come into that space and another person says, that's not what I expected of you, that's not very much like what I thought you would be like. Like that's a lot of the feminine that says, I exist beyond the limitations of what you anticipate or expect from me. Because when we say to someone, you're not what I expected, what we're effectively doing is we're articulating to another and saying, I expected you to be in a role. I didn't expect you to be multidimensional. I expected you to fit into a nice little box that we wanted to put you in, right? So this is a lot of the feminine energy that is feeling much more focused and expansive as it relates to how to communicate who they are and what it is that they desire to do going forward, right? So that's why we see that a lot of the feminine energy right now is much more in, like this is feeling much more, like I want to say, like embracing energetic change, right? But what's beautiful about this for the feminine is this is embracing the energetic change of the self and feeling the energetic confidence of doing things in a different way. I told you, this is a little bit of the result right now that is happening for masculine and feminine. It's like when Mars is in retrograde, we got to make the energetic courage ourselves. Like, and that's why with the Mars in retrograde in Capricorn season, like that's the message. Like when confidence is lacking, we just have to make the courage from scratch, right? Fourth and fifth cards in our 5-card spread for today are, we have here our 3 of Wands in its upright in combination with our Wheel of Fortune in its upright. So a lot of this right now, I just see a lot of work right now in relationality to planning, a lot of work right now in relationality to path work going forward. There's a lot of this energy right now. I just see setting intentions, laying the groundwork for a lot of that path work, especially in like the next 3 month cycle. This is a lot of that energetic conviction that we were identifying and recognizing that is coming through right now. As a result, I told you, I know the Mars retrograde is hard. But once you get used to it, it's a framework by which we can set our intentions and build upon that energy of conviction. So I see even now like a lot of that energy moving forward in that way. Continuing to get clarification between our Page of Cups in its upright in combination with our 10 of Pentacles in its upright. Can I please get one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Cups in its upright. We've got two of the Knight cards right now out. So we've got two of the Cup suite. So a lot, like I told you. What did I say? Capricorn, like Cancer and full moon on the horizon, that wolf moon. A lot of emotionality, a lot of that like uptick as it relates to emotions right now, right? But again, that ability of working through, being able to express emotionality in positive, productive ways. I'm just seeing even now that a lot of that work that we're recognizing and identifying has to do with the amplification of the setting of the energetic intention. And this is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy right now. And this is also why I want to say we want to be very mindful as it relates to communication right now, right? Because, and we need to point this out, and this is, here's the thing. Here's what we're going to work through right now as it relates to the emotionality of masculine and feminine. I see that, the thing with the feminine, like the feminine energy, working through the context of emotions. I got to say this again. When we feel like, and this is coming through very, 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 very significantly, when we feel large emotionality, the way we honor large emotions is the recognition and the honoring of others' choices, right? And so I see even now that there's a lot of that energy working in that spectrum, working in that context. Now, and this is a lot of that energy here. Like this is what we talk about as it relates to conviction. Because a lot of that work that we're seeing even now, like that sense or space of feeling energetically in alignment as it relates to what it is that you're moving towards. For masculine right now, in separation, I'm just seeing that this is a lot of that energy. Do you see this? You remember what I talked about that the masculine is doing right now in separation? What did I say that the masculine was doing? A lot of the masculine in separation is finding new ways to move towards feminine from a place of being able to be their authentic self, right? And how is the masculine energy doing that? The masculine energy that is working on healing is doing the work and again, finding alignment between not trying to shed the ego, right? Not trying to get rid of the ego entirely. Not trying to just let the inner child like run rampant, right? Because the ego protects the inner child. Not like working in that context of the inner child, finding where the inner child and the ego are in alignment, right? I just see a lot of this energy right now, the masculine saying, on this we can agree, which allows the energy to move towards feminine in that way, right? Because that's the moment that says the feeling of authenticity for masculine energy is the feeling like, again, the egoic space and the higher self that says, on this we can agree. This is, and what do we do when we do that? This is the energy that says we don't just do it for the outcome outside of the self. We do that because that's in alignment with who we are, right? So that's very beautiful. I told you a lot of courage that's being created right now for energy during this retrograde. For feminine, this is the feminine that feels that force that reaffirms and commits their own energy and commitment to the sense of saying, I believe that the masculine energy is also sharing that healing journey. I know that there is masculine energy that desires to come towards me with the space of authenticity. I know that there is masculine energy that desires the same type of energetic partnership as me, right? So this is a lot of the energy of the feminine that says my ability to heal from those wounds of trust from the past is me keeping that dream alive for the masculine. But remembering a dream is a wish. And the difference between a manifestation and a wish is doing something difficult in order to move towards it. So this is why the feminine says, not only am I wishing that that is going to be the case, I move in accordance with knowing that it is such. I move in accordance with recognizing and identifying that that pathwork is there. And I'm going to do the work wherein I am also leading forward to be able to find that energetic counterpart. Now, for masculine and feminine energy right now, coming into divine union, this is a lot of that energy here that I just see is working towards and moving in the directionality of energy that feels like they are in alignment, in accordance with like feeling the same sense of sacredness as it relates to energetic partnership, right? And I see even now like a lot of that sense or space of being able to heal from the past, right? Especially those experiences wherein another might not necessarily have the same perspective as you. This is the energy that again says, I wish you well, but they also like they move towards the energy that feels like it's in alignment to them. So I see a lot of this energy right now in that state of planning, in that state of calibrating upon and building upon what those plans are, right? There's a lot of this feeling right now of energy that is recognizing and prioritizing that sense or space of creating something energetically. I keep telling you that a lot of this energy right now moving into deepening energetic partnership, I keep seeing that that is Capricorn energy. Why is it Capricorn energy? Because this is the energy that says it's precious because we built it with our own hands. It's precious because we fixed it, right? We're not moving something into a deeper connection and for the desire to fix it. This is the energy that says we're showing others because we already fixed it. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, we just see that for a lot of this energy right now, deep within divine union, this is just getting things done. This is taking a lot of those downloads, taking a lot of those lessons that came through via the liminal space that we just created and kind of moving in the directionality or in accordance to them, right? And I see even here that a lot of that energy, like this is what's taking, like this is where that space of courage is for both masculine and feminine, right? And I see even now that for both of those energies right now, a lot of that. And what's interesting about it too is, you know, this is why I see what's interesting about this right now is I almost feel like the feminine is more in the modality of feeling energetically protective right now of healed masculine energy. Like I see this right now. There's a lot of this like mama bear energy that's coming through right now for a lot of the feminine energy deep within divine union, especially and particularly because again, there's something about that expansiveness that we're recognizing and identifying here as it relates to, like working in that context of like they're saying like even here, like allowing for the preciousness of the masculine energy that has done that work in terms of healing and being able to articulate and amplify like how much it takes, right? This is where we ended the reading yesterday. Remember? Like that gift that we say to someone when we say you make it look easy. Remembering how something easy can sometimes feel like it's the hardest thing to do. I see even now, like there's a lot of that energy of the masculine being able to be in that modality of feeling safe, seen, and supported right now via energetic counterpart, right? So again, feminine's being courageous by being energetically protective, and masculine is being, masculine is being energetically courageous via being able to be in their emotional authenticity. Continuing to get clarification right now between our 10 of Pentacles in combination with our Fool card in its upright. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification with our Queen of Cups in its upright. This is wild. This is wild. Okay, so go back if you're following the podcast over on Substack. I would encourage you to go back to our reading. About 3 days ago, I want to say, we had almost the entire wand suite out, right? A lot of that work, like just messages, communication, recognition, a lot of deep thinking that we saw that was happening during that experience, that we're just like on the cusp, like in the wake of that new moon in Capricorn. This is all of this cup energy showing up. This is the Cancer full moon on the horizon. This is the Cancer full moon on the horizon. Like, and it's a lot of I told you, a lot of feelings. Everybody's in their feelings here. Everybody's in their feels. Everybody's in their feels. This is your daily reminder. Be in good feels. Good feels. Good feels only. Good feels only. Even if you're communicating something not good, good feels only, right? Like working in that space of trying to be energetically productive right now with the emotions, right? We talked about this, not allowing the emotions to get you carried away. We've got the Cancer full moon on the horizon. We're in the midst of a Mars retrograde. Feelings are good, but again, I'm going to bring up the energy of the feeling of a pizza party, right? Because again, everything I keep seeing, this is why the Cancer full moon is the pizza party. It's a pizza party energy, which is like the feelings that start to rise, right? And someone's like, there's a pizza coming. And everybody feels like the weight of the pizza. And that's why everybody, like, again, because like the feeling of something coming, right? That is the Aries retrograde. Okay, that is the feeling of the Aries retrograde, the anticipation, right? Aries are always, this is why I'm telling you guys, you are acting like Aries. If you're feeling like, why do I feel really vigilant right now? Why do I feel extremely anxious? Why do I feel all of this sense of anticipation? Welcome to the experience of being an Aries. It's fun, right? I know, it's great. I love it. It's awesome. And that's why all the Aries are like, what the heck has gotten? Why is everyone acting like this? You learn these lessons. You've been working on these lessons the whole time. They have not been working on these lessons the whole time. Okay. And I see a lot of the Aries going, wait, no, everybody feels like this, right? No, my babies, no. I hate to be the one. I hate to be the bearer. That's a special thing that you get. You get that special little present. Yeah. And everybody's feeling it right now, the way that you would be feeling it. So, I'm going to say again, much like a pizza party. Remember what it was like when you had a pizza party and the teacher's like, I'm going to bring a pizza in here. And everyone's like, ah! They go nuts. And then the teacher goes, if you guys cannot control yourselves, there will be no pizza. Like, if you cannot control yourselves, there will be no pizza. So this is a little bit of that energy being like, okay, pizza. Like even now, but here's the thing. And that's the thing. I'm going to tell you even now, that feeling of a pizza party, it's going to grow. It's going to feel like that more and more as we approach this wolf moon. This can't, like, why do you think it's called the wolf moon? Because you're going to be howling at it, my friends. You're going to be howling at it. You're going to have a lot of feelings. All right. Continuing to get clarification right now. And this is I told you, a lot of this like mama bear energy. Continuing to get clarification right now between our Fool card, our 3 of Wands in its upright. And I love the fact there's someone in the comments saying they're literally planning a pizza party right now. Continuing to get one card to clarify, please. One card to clarify. Come on, I know you want to come out. And it's also a lot of processing grief, right? I would not be surprised right now if you are going through moments of feeling elation and grief. Elation and grief. Elation and grief. Why are we feeling a lot of these feelings of elation and grief right now? Because again, what are we experiencing right now? We are experiencing the roller coaster, right? The energetic roller coaster of Mars being in retrograde, which is like, I don't know what's going to happen. Everything's doom. Everything's going to be amazing. Everything's doom. Everything's going to be amazing. Everything's doom. Everything's going to be amazing. And now we've got all of the uptick, and it's going to get more. I really want you to ground right now. I really want you to ground your emotions. I want you to find a way to channel them in positive ways. Okay? Because even here, big happy, big sad, right? Like big feelings mean big feelings both ways. So being able to move that in a space that feels productive instead of energetically devastating is very important right now. And especially if you're feeling like there's someone coming towards you in that way, I want you to be compassionate and recognize that they may be experiencing this. They're internalizing something that's happening externally to them, right? Because even here, like there's a lot of that, there's a lot of this, like someone coming, and that's why I say even now, if someone is feeling a lot of emotions towards something, asking the question, I want you to ask yourself right now, the question you need to have is not, this is not a time to be dumping each other's feelings on one another, right? This is not a time to say, I have these big feelings. I don't know what to do with them. Remember, what was the lesson we saw was coming through with that King of Pentacles that we got bottom of the deck and Nine of Wands, yes, the last 2 days. I don't know what to do with this. Right? I don't know what to do with this. I have this thing. I don't know what to do with it. And the thing right now that we're feeling is the feelings, right? I don't know what to do with these feelings. I don't know what to do with these feelings. And so what do we want to do when we have big feelings and we're not doing the work of the internal self? Hot potato, you take them. These are yours. This is your fault. You made me feel this way. Instead of going inwards and saying, what are these feelings trying to hide? What are these feelings trying to communicate? What are these feelings trying to tell me? So I'm urging you now, this is not the time to go into that space of emotionally unloading on someone, right? It's a space to explain and articulate why you feel the things you feel. And if someone's coming towards you with big feelings, effectively don't match them. Make sure that you're asking the question, why? Make sure that they're doing that homework first. Because when we're in a healthy space, we don't just unload the emotions on one another. We do our internal homework. We figure out what our emotions are trying to tell us. And then we go towards another articulating that need instead of just articulating upon the emotions that we're feeling. Because I tell you right now, it's going to get bigger. We are days out. We are days out from this full moon. And I want you to be able to stay grounded within it. Continuing to get clarification between our Three of Wands and its upright and our Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, and it's like, oh, like it's a lot. I know, it's like, oh, it's a lot of that big feeling. Yes, it's great. This is the pizza party. This is you see the pizza? It's a pizza party on the Wheel of Fortune card. Yeah, it's a pizza. Can I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now. Oh, we got 2 cards coming out. And another thing that's causing a little bit of friction here, right? And this is the thing. There's a lot of this energy that's kind of under the craw. I want to know where Scorpio is right now. Why is it under the craw? Because, like a lot of this that we're effectively seeing at this time has to do with a recognition and an understanding of the past. Looking at things in that way, right? This is a lot of that feeling as well, to add like the cherry on top of all of these emotions that you may be feeling right now, is with the clarity of the Capricorn new moon, right? The hard truth, being able to see something and seeing something that you couldn't energetically see before, that's hard to see. There may be a lot of those feelings right now of kind of like working through and processing the past with new clarity that may be also impinging upon some of those that amplification of the emotionality, right? So just be like mindful and grounded as you do that work right now. Because again, I also see like these swords right here, like I got to show you right now, like this right here, bang, bang, bang. These, and a lot of this 3 energy, like a lot of this 3 energy here that I'm seeing. We've got 3 threes. Can I show you this right now? We've literally got 3 threes out. We've got the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, and the 3 of Cups in combination with our 7 of Swords. That is literally sore feelings. This is literally sore energetic feelings. And so working through that to a certain extent, like working through and navigating the space of those experiences in the past. I can see this, like navigating the hurts of the past. Like this is how we don't go bitter. This is how we become better, right? Because again, when we hold on to the wounds of the past, like that's where we come into that space that can feel uncomfortable, right? It can feel difficult. But moving into that context of taking something and moving it into a positive space, like I see that that's a lot of this work that we're doing right now, and it's navigating challenge. It's challenging. It's challenging stuff. This is like heavy processing here. Continuing to get clarification on our Knight of Cups in its upright and our Queen of Cups in its upright. And here, I got to say this right now. Look, you see this? These are the energies in separation coming towards one another at this time. Do you see this energy here? It's beautiful. Do you see these two together? I told you, these are the Aries warrior couples that are coming together right now. And what's beautiful about it, I know, not holding swords, are they? No, these are peaceful warriors. A warrior is not someone who fights. We don't call someone a warrior when they're fighting. A warrior is the honorific we give someone who has fought, right? And these are the energies that say, I carry the lessons of the triumphs, the lessons, right? The triumphs of the past, those lessons. I'm not holding them as wounds. I'm holding them as things that I am energetically overcoming as I move towards what I know is for me, right? And so we see even now, like a lot of that energy working in that space, navigating that perspective, allowing for those abilities or for those moments of saying to themselves, these are not wounds that I carry. I am proud of these energetic wounds. These are the signs of lessons that I have experienced. These are the signs of what I have endured, right? This is the feminine that says, these wounds become the standards that energetically protect me and help me see the masculine that is protective of me. This is the masculine that says, my authenticity is something that I have fought for and took me a long time to find. The ability to come back towards myself in a world and in a space that told me I always had to be someone else, right? We see even now beautiful, harmonious connections that are happening right now that are the baseline of courage. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now. Look at this. Harmony. The Two of Pentacles, in its reversal, right? This is the energy that says, if I want to find the thing that I desire to find, I must become who I desire to seek, right? This is the feminine energy in separation that says, if I'm sitting here and I'm too afraid because I've been wounded by trust, would I want my divine masculine to act like that? Would I want my divine masculine huddled up somewhere in that space being too afraid because of the experiences that happened in the past, saying I can't do it? This is feminine saying, I'm going forward. I'm going forward to find them, right? I need to embody the courage that I know that they're having in trying to find me. Thank you. While for a lot of the masculine energy, this is the masculine energy saying, do I want my divine feminine to put up that false sense of self? Do I want the divine feminine to try to just be whatever I desire them to be? No, I want the feminine to be able to be in their full authenticity with me. So it's the bravest thing for me to be able to be my authentic self, because in the moment that I become my authentic self, I pave the way for feminine to see me and find me there. So both of these energies right now, not just seeking one another, but doing the thing that is hardest to do in order to find one another. While for the energy right now coming into divine union and deep within divine union, this is just a lot of energetic conviction that I see is occurring at this time. And a lot of that energetic conviction is based upon and built upon. I just see here. And this is why I see a lot of that energy is getting very protective. Because this is the energy, and again, this is the energy coming into divine union right now, which they keep indicating to me are Capricorn unions. Those energies, they say, it might be like this is, it's going little and broken, but ours, right? And this is the energy that considers something sacred because they say, we made this ourselves. Like whatever another person thinks about it, who gives a flying about what another person thinks about? Because when we create something, it becomes energetically sacred to us. And so this is why this energy says, I don't need to defend what I have with another person. I know it's energetically sacred, right? While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, this is the energy that feels the space and place of being able to be in an energetic connection that allows us to be able to find deeper levels of the self in the process. And for masculine, it feels like a lot of that journey and being able to feel comfortable to be one's own inner child. For feminine, it is a lot of that energy being able to be their authentic self and processing through a lot of emotions here. You know, I just see even now, like a lot of the feminine being in a space of being able to feel their most robust fullness as it relates to feeling the comfortability of a masculine that is able to navigate their emotions in such a way that it doesn't feel like they're oppositional to them, but feel like they're aligned through them. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Cups in its upright in combination with our Three of Swords in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now. Honoring your nope. I love this. Welcome to 2025. Honoring your nope, right? It's a lot of this work right now, like a lot of this energy. I just keep seeing here. Like a lot of this is like, no, thank you. Like, it's like, no, thank you. But I need to point this out. You know, the thing that's really important about this, it has to do, right? How do we define the self? Do we define the self by what comes towards us, or what we move away from, right? So we see even now that for a lot of that energy right now, for the energy deep within like divine union, like a lot of this work that we see that's being navigated has to do with healing and this is why it's triggering right now. I just see a lot of energy right now deep within divine union that's been going through a lot of that existential work, confronting the shadow, right? And what is the shadow? Our doubts, our fears, our insecurities, our worries, right? When we do that work, it's unpleasant. And why does this energy do so? Because when we're in healthy partnership, we confront our own energetic shadow because that's the way we protect our counterpart from it. Like that ability of doing so, that ability of navigating through one's own insecurities, one's own doubts and one's fears. This is the energy that says, for you, I'll do that work. Right? For you, I'll go through in those processes, right? And it's not something that requires that sense of self. Like this is what we talk about. How, like, again, the vibration of love allows us to reach the attainment point of finding our highest version of self. Because there's those moments that we often experience and navigate that say it's not just the fact that we're going on that journey for the self, but we go on that journey for ourselves, both for the journey of ourselves, but also in the compassionate space of those that we experience life with, right? This is why love requires courage, because it requires us to always strive for that highest sense of self in the process. And so I see even now a lot of that energy going through those energetic worries, confronting them, and then saying, you know, and that's the thing. Like when you move into divine union, do you think all of your doubts and fears go away? No. Right? But what you say is like, I will address the ones I need to address and I will let go of the rest. This is why we talk so much about surrender. Remembering, surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender means letting go of that which is outside of our own energetic standards to change, right? While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within coming into divine union, this is the energy that's moving deeper in divine union at this time. And a lot of this energy right now, again, setting those energetic standards via recognizing and identifying. Like I keep seeing that's the energy that says, if someone isn't in alignment to us, if someone is argumenting upon the nature of an energetic connection, if someone isn't looking at an energetic partnership from a place of sacredness, this isn't the energy that runs outside of the energetic connection to try to prove something to someone. Because when you move deeper into divine union, you don't do it for effect. You do it because you're energetically affected. So I just keep seeing that for a lot of that energy, this is the energy that says, it's not that it, like, that maturation process. It's not that it's sad, right? It's going through the sadness of navigating circumstances or situations wherein you hope others see something the way that you do, but you also recognize and protect it from those that feel like they don't, right? While for a lot of this energy right now, in separation, why is this energy so brave? Because this is the energy that looks at the past and says, you are the past. I won't be cynical. I won't surrender to cynicism. I won't surrender to the feeling that nothing can ever change, right? Because when we move in alignment and saying nothing will ever change, so it will be, right? It's in those moments that, like, again, this is the energy saying, I'm not going to break my own heart before I move and try to do so, right? This is the energy that says, I'm going to, my hope, the hope of finding that counterpart, the conviction it takes. This is the energy that faces their energetic fear and says, you have no power over me, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Three of Swords in combination with our Seven of Swords, in combination with our Three of Cups in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification. Oh my God. I can't make this up. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Look at this. We got the King of Cups. We got the Knight of Cups. We got the Queen of Cups. We got the Page of Cups. We've got the full cup suite out. We got the whole gang's out. The whole gang's out. The full cup suite is here. So a lot of this, and this is what I mean, like, this is a lot of that energetic arrival of this, like, I want to say this Cancer, this is the Cancer full moon coming, like, approaching. A lot of this emotionality, a lot of this energetic work. If you're feeling a lot of emotions right now, like, just like, get ready, because remembering we're moving into that Cancer full moon. It's going to get big. They're going to get bigger, right? But for now, you may be feeling like, I want to say, this is saying to me that there's a lot of energy right now okay, so how do I explain this in a way that makes the most sense? If you're feeling better today than you were, like, if you were feeling a lot of that modality of anxiety, but now you're starting to feel like a little bit of this, like a little bit more grounded. They're saying that it's the groundedness of the emotions, right? Because all of that a lot of the energy that we were experiencing was very air energy. That's why it felt like so liminal. It was very much air energy. The emotions are actually, like, adding a little bit of like ballast right now to some of that roller coaster that we're experiencing with the Mars, retrograde, right? Because again, if you're going up and down with confidence, and this is why I want to warn you guys right now. I mean, I don't want to warn you guys, but I just want to caution you about not just moving in the directionality of feelings, but making sure that the feelings have energetic logic behind them, right? Because the emotionality may be feeling very affirming right now, right? May be feeling very expansive. The confidence is going like this. Now, bearing in mind that emotionality is going to amplify, like, even further as we get closer to this Cancer full moon. Like, working in that space of the emotions right now. They're saying even now, like, a lot of ability to be able to communicate authentically in the space of emotions. Like if you are being introspective right now and you are also navigating the emotions, today is a really good day to try to communicate something that both balances emotionality but also energetic logic. But that's why they keep saying, like, I keep getting a message of making sure they keep saying, like, don't get carried away by the energetic emotions, because there's something about this amplification point that, like, you know, I like, it's like being able to navigate in that space of allowing oneself to move it into something that feels productive, right? Because the difficulty with emotionality, when we feel a lot of it, is it's very easy to get emotionally carried away, right? So just be a little bit mindful of that right now. But on the bright side, the thing that I am seeing here is a lot of, I just keep getting a lot of energy is getting their bearings back, especially if this Mars retrograde has been like having like a real impact. Now, continuing to get clarification here between our Two of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Six of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify. Clarification. I told you. Didn't I say? Where's that Scorpio energy? Here comes the Death card. I do want to investigate after this where Scorpio is, because there's something about this right now that is feeling like the alignment point. And this is like very intriguing, especially with the combination of the Knight of Cups here and the Death card, which, and there's a lot of there's a lot to unpack there. But you know, one of the things that we have to bear in mind here that we're seeing has to do with recognizing and it's a transformation. It's a transformation process, right? There's a lot of this energy right now, like we're in the midst of an energetic transformation process. But a lot of this, and this is where I see even now, this is why this is the energy of warrior energy, right? Because again, the energy of the, like, how do I explain this best? The energy of the warrior, like we're gonna say this again, and this is very important right now for masculine energy, because I see that this is having a big impact on masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, right? When you are in the space of a warrior, like a warrior moves into spaces, not because they're positive, right? You go where no one else desires to go, right? You let that intention of self drive you forward, right? Like that modality, right? And this is why these two cards in combination, this is why I'm articulating that this is warrior energy, because someone who fights, right? Someone who fights is a fighter. Someone who has fought is a warrior, because again, a fighter moves into energetic battle. A warrior has had the experience of battle and works to prevent the need to go into energetic battle again, right? So this is why we see that the combination of these two cards right now is the amplification of the warrior energy, because this is the energy that says, I don't do that for the sake of being energetically combative. I do so because I long and desire never to have to do that energetically again. So this is the energy that literally is coming towards feminine and saying, I am your energetic, like this is the masculine healing going, I am your energetic protector, in that space of saying to the self as they're coming out of, like, towards feminine, that when I heal the self, when the masculine comes towards feminine from the space of the inner child and surrenders the ego, right? This isn't the energy of the masculine that has destroyed the ego, right? This is the energy that takes their armor off, right? Because this is the masculine that says, I'm not going to come towards you to battle. I'm trying to love you. And in order to love you, I need you to see me. So I remove those contexts of the things that I typically use to protect myself so that we can find one another there. And so this is the masculine, again, says, never have I been more brave than when I've removed my armor to move towards feminine. Because in that place, I allow for them to be, I allow for that, in that vulnerability, I allow the ability of the feminine to find me and love me there. While for feminine, this is a lot of the feminine that says, when I allow the wounds of the past to carry forward in the future, when I come into those spirit spaces or places where I have had my trust broken, then if I do not learn to heal that, then I become the thing that I was afraid of. That if I say I will never trust again, so it will be. And that's the feminine that says, I need to learn how to heal. I need to learn how to trust, because if I am not in a space of trust, when someone comes towards me with a desire to trust, I won't be able to see it. I will destroy the ability for them to be able to trust me, because I am now the energy that is distrust. And this is the feminine says, I'm going to destroy that part. Like, this is the energy that literally says, I am going to change that, right? I'm not going to allow that to grow. I'm not going to allow that distrust to fester within my heart. Because when you allow the distrust to fester within your heart, then that is the energy of the past that hurt you, that broke your trust, that you bring forth with you into anything that you navigate going forward. So this is the feminine that says, never have I been more brave than to take that energy and say, I'm not letting you do that to me. I'm not letting you destroy that part of me that can trust, because I know, and this is what the feminine energy says as they go to heal moving forward in separation, I know my divine counterpart would not treat me that way. I know my divine counterpart would not treat me that way. And that is the energy of the transformation, where the energy of the feminine says, I will utilize that discernment to help me see them. I don't let go of the past. I appreciate the past that helps me recognize the difference, right? Continuing to get clarification between, hold on a moment, between our Six of Pentacles in its reversal, in combination with our King of Cups in its upright. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Pentacles. Whew. There is a lot. There's a lot of, how do I explain this right now? How's the best way to explain what I'm seeing here? There's a lot of this work that I see even now that's occurring in relationality to, and this is the amplification of that full moon in Cancer that's coming towards us right now, right? And this is more of that amplification of the retrograde. This is the Mars retrograde that we see. That is like, I have to stress this. The thing with the Mars retrograde that's a little bit difficult to navigate right now is it's creating a lot of feelings of duality, right? It's a lot of like, yes, no. It's creating a lot of that, like, I told you, it's like the roller coaster that goes up and down. So again, this is more of that amplification of feeling like everything's fine. Like everything's possible, nothing can change. Everything's possible, nothing can change. Everything's everything's possible. Like, it's like, again, there's a lot of this modality that we're seeing right now, right? So what is this energy calling forth to us? What does this energy call forth to us with when we're navigating that retrograde energy that says anything's possible, nothing will change. Anything's possible, nothing will change. We allow our energetic conviction to drive the way, right? This is what we talk about with surrender, right? This is what we talk about with intentionality. When we're going through those spaces and places where it says anything's possible, nothing will change. You can't chase after that, right? Are you going to chase after the fear? Are you going to chase after the excitement? Are you going to chase after the fear? Are you going to chase after the excitement? Or do you create that space of conviction, saying regardless, right? Regardless of what occurs, regardless of whether nothing changes or whether everything changes, my pathwork is clear, right? This is how we see ourselves. This is how we find ourselves. we do not move forward. We do not move forward in that space or place of looking towards the desired outcome. We let our intention drive us. We let our intention guide us. We say to our higher self, like, and that doesn't mean inactivity, right? That doesn't mean that we don't do anything, right? When we say to our higher self, take the wheel, we activate. We say, intention. Hey, intention. Guide me. Guide my actions. Guide my directionality. Let them help to steer through that to a certain extent, right? So a lot of that work right now, I just see even now, and that's why it's healthy, because even in that space, like when the intentions lead force to guide us, what happens? Fear pops up, right? Fear goes, hey! Do we let go of the fear? No. Fear, everything we have is a gift. Fear is very helpful. Fear just gets a little carried away, right? Fear just gets a little carried away. Fear gets a little carried away in their job. You know, like fear's very good at their job. Fear is over eager. Okay. Fear is very over eager. So like, fear, in the middle, and then when you're driving from that place of intentionality, every now and then you get a tug and you look down, you're like, what are you, sorry, you scared me, fear. And what does fear do in that moment? Fear goes, I made this. And then you look at it and you go, and either you go, what? Wow. Whoa. Okay. That's weird. All right, buddy. What do you want me to do with that? I don't know. Okay, there's not much I can do about that. We're going to put this behind the fridge. We're going to put in the special gallery behind the fridge. But then what do we do with those moments or those modalities, right? Where we navigate and articulate. And sometimes the fear tugs us and goes, hey, what? Boom. And you go, oh my God. Okay, look, buddy, we can cover that. We can fix that. That's a fixable problem, right? That's why we don't just ignore our fear. We learn. This is why we talk about shadow work. We talk to our fear, because sometimes the fear is ridiculous, but sometimes the fear's got something really decent to say. That's a good note, fear. That's why we keep you around. Like 1 in 10, you got a real banger of an idea. Bottom of the deck on today's reading, between our Knight of Cups in its upright in combination with our Knight of Pentacles in its upright. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with, I love it, our Hierophant card. So this is the energy of conviction. This is the energy of setting of intentions. And I really, here's the thing I want to stress for you guys right now, because the truth is, emotions might be feeling pretty balanced today. Right? I feel like everybody is in a space where they may be feeling like they have a lot of stability in the emotional vector. I'm just going to tell you now, because we're moving towards this, like this Cancer full moon, the energy of the emotions, like your emotions are most likely going to amplify in a really big way, because Cancer full moons often feel like eclipse energy, because it is Cancer. It's like double moon, like it's Cancer in the space that it needs to be. So often we have these Cancer full moons, and they can be like really, they can do a real number on our emotional space. So that is why I want you to set your intentions now. I want you to set your energetic convictions now, so that in that space, when the emotions start to rise, you can refer back to them and say, okay, this is the energy, like this is the energy of the full moon. And this is what I know, because it's going to level back down again, right? And this is what I know to be like my energetic standard. This is the energetic baseline to a certain extent. And again, a lot of that is operating in that space of balancing. Again, if you're feeling those moments right now where anxieties and fears are coming up, I don't want you to push them aside. I want you to look at them. I want you to introspect upon them. I want you to do the things that one needs to do to be able to come into that space of feeling energetically stable. Because I see a lot of that. Like this is now, like the thing about this right now, this is more of the energy that we would expect during Capricorn season. This is things starting to feel like they're coming back into a sense of energetic normality to a certain extent, right? So let a little bit of that be a space. Like they're saying, get those things done. Do the things that you need to do now. Let that kind of ground you and do everything you can to feel energetically stable from this place. Like create that list today. And then, as that energy amplifies, you can recognize and refer back to that and say, okay, this is where I was before like the full moon, before the Cancer full moon started doing a number on my emotional space, because even here, and I got to stress this though right now, this is, and I keep getting the same message for the energy and separation right now. Incredible partnerships that are shaping up right now. This is also, look at these partnerships. This is the Aries energy partnerships that we're seeing that are occurring right now, that are forming during this retrograde period. Right? Masculine, this is who I am. Feminine, this is who I refuse to be. This is how these energies are finding one another. Masculine, taking all of the courage to look towards feminine and say, this is who I am. Feminine, having all the energetic courage saying, that is not who I desire to be. Right? And so even here we see immediate energetic connections that are forming in that context. While for masculine and feminine, right? And that's when the feminine said, this is not who I desire to be. This is the feminine that says, I refuse to become the energy that broke my trust by not being able to trust in the process. Right? While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. This is a lot of that energy that articulates and states and says, energy that holds things sacred are in alignment to us. This is the energy that says we created this with our own hands. We built this, we built this partnership with our bare hands. We've been fixing it up for quite some time. And this is the energy that says it's not our job to articulate to another the sacredness of that. It's our job to observe, to take notes, right? And they say, like, the energy that gets it, gets it. And if someone doesn't get it, they go, I'm sorry you feel that day. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way, with the divine hope that the day may come that someone's perspective on something may change, while also remembering the time that they themselves may have felt that way. While for masculine and feminine energy, deep within divine union right now, this is the feminine being in the space of being able to feel more in the space of building stability right now. I told you, feminine energy is very focused right now on stability. Masculine energy right now is very focused on emotional balance, right? But these are the energies that, again, between the two, something new. A lot of that energetic conviction as it relates to new ways of doing things, new and new possibilities. Final card for today's spread, bottom of our deck, is we've got here our 8 of Cups in its upright. Man, all of these, I gotta tell you guys, the last few days, the cards that we've been getting on the bottom of the deck, man, they have been rough. Again, I'm really, after this reading, I'm gonna go try to figure out where Scorpio is, because I feel like a lot of this is like itching under the surface, so it feels very scorpionic. It's a sting energy, right? Again, when we feel a sting, we don't sting, right? I'm like the journey of the Scorpio to a certain extent is often recognizing and identifying that the healthy Scorpio energy works on alchemizing their own sting, right? Like protecting others from it. So I see even now that for a lot of that energy, there may be a lot of feelings of regret that are coming, like that are coming up right now. You know, it's uncomfortable. To this, I will say, regret is a blessing, right? Because again, what does regret indicate? Regret indicates the acknowledgement of something that has changed within the self. Regret is that ability that we look at and we don't dwell in this. And I'm going to tell you even now, it's going to be hard to do this right now. It's going to be really hard to do this, especially with the amplifications of emotions. Again, also in the space of regret, right? The beauty of regret is that the possibility of changing something is ever available to you. And it's not in the past. It's not in the future. It's right here. It's right here in the present. So I want you to navigate right now. I don't want you to get lost in that space of looking and saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm going to say it again. Masculine energy. You are always on time. You are never late for your energetic journey. You are exactly where you need to be. Okay? And if you're seeing something differently, then you are in a perspective where you're seeing something clearly. I know it hurts, but congratulations. And for feminine energy, you are getting stronger every day. If there is experiences right now that you're looking back and you're saying to yourself, I strayed off my path. I strayed off my path. I didn't see that I was straying off my path. I want you to reaffirm and remember that sense of being stronger every day is the energy that says, I move in alignment with energy that honors my energetic standards every step of the way. So don't let yourself get caught in that space of regret or grieving. Let this be the affirmation that guides you as you move forward. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So I would encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who joined us on our most recent class on the Strength card. Our next tarot class will be held on Wednesday, January 15th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Hermit card. I am so excited to be able to teach this class to you guys. The Hermit card is a fascinating card. We're going to go over the symbiology of the card, the history of the card. I'm going to talk to you guys about the application and spreads. I'm also going to have a unique spread for you guys to explore, to take back with you on your own coursework. And all you need to do, if you would like to get on the list if you would like to get into that class, is head over to my Substack, graystrega.substack.com. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also have access to the Tarot Church Library. That is a library that contains over 9 hours worth of material, an ever-expanding collection that is available to you as a subscriber. It's not necessary to catch up. We'll be giving a recap in each class on what we've studied most recently, but the material's there for you to receive when you're ready to receive it. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that may have in relation to anything that we've studied or are currently studying. Also, if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein we will assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey, and I'll give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage going towards your personal tarot goals. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. one. So I want to thank you if you're already joining us there, and I look forward to potentially seeing you at our next class. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, make sure that you head over to our subscriber only Discord channel, because there you will find a very special coupon code that will give you an additional discount to that Substack subscription. Even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings, services. I post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my clients that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are uniquely customized for each individual student. You can purchase them on an individual basis or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I am very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.